Well, we all. Oh no, of course not. If you look at, how do you quantify tagging a runner? How do you quantify being in the right place in a cutoff and relay, like he was in Oakland, that won them a game? How do you quantify range? Uh, you know, on thrown balls. How do you quantify impact he has on other teammates? How does he impact? I said before, with where Mo was concerned and Andy, obviously statistics they're going to miss, but what they're going to miss more than anything is his presence. The guy that, if he's, he always he cares about the weight. He understands the weight his words carry. So many people get drunk with that power and say some things that reflect poorly on their teammates, their mom and dad, their organization, their fans, and take a good look, because how many guys? How many years has he been a Yankee? 20 big leagues. But to be here that long, and can you come up with? I'm sure y'all can, but come up with one thing where you went, boy, that was really. It's hard too, and I'm sure there's been some roll of eyes with some standard answers to questions that could have got him or a teammate or somebody under the bus. But to stop and go, you know what? I'm not going to have the emotion. Nobody played the game with more emotion under the radar. So many people mistake that. You don't do what he does and not have some passion and emotion for winning. But there's so many little revealers of a guy's character if you watch. You really watch. And he's uncomfortable with what's going on, because it's a great respect of his winning ways, but he wants the focus to be on the team.
Buck, what do you think, having him sit there for the 95 series, what do you think he took away?
He'd be able to answer that better, but I do know that he said later that I thought that's where the team was supposed to be every year. It doesn't happen every year. I think it just raised expectations. And when you have that feeling, which we wanted him to have, because we felt like he was going to be a contributor of that environment. I mean, you could spend 3 hours on trying to perfect his defensive skills, but he would get more out of being exposed to that environment. And more importantly, and wanting to be a part of that. So, man, this is something I want to do. So when you're sitting there in July and August and it's smoking hot and nobody's in the stands in some city, where he understands the end game. To make sure that he sees what the end game is, like Parcells said years ago, those linemen, after they went down the field without passing the ball and it was about 8 degrees, that's why we lift all those weights. That's why you do all those things. Little things on backfields when nobody's looking. What's the thing about the true character of a man is what he does when no one's looking? Well, you have no doubt what Derek does when no one's looking.
That would make him a great leader.
I don't know if it's by example. I think most things are done by example. It's something that we've talked a little bit with some of our guys in there. I mean, I can bring people in, whether it's John Scope or Manny Machado or Christian Walker, and say, watch Hardy. Just watch him if you got any ideas. Watch Jones, watch Markakis, watch Wieters, we have a lot of those guys. So it makes a manager's job a lot easier, because there's so many things that get taken care of by his presence and his example that never get to your plate. So now who defines that? Who's going to fill those shoes? Hank Williams or whoever wrote that song.
Do you have any specific recollections of that week when you came up in 95?
I'm 58, man. I can't remember where the keys are. I don't know. I do. Yeah. I know the first time I saw him, I said, 170 pounds soaking wet, skinny kid. I remember how well he interacted and respect he had for his sister and mom and dad. I thought that was pretty cool. I remember that hitting me. Like, I think there's a lot of things that challenge guys off the field are not going to challenge him. And I think the big thing everybody felt comfortable with is that he was going to be as good as he's capable of being. And that's a great accolade to pay somebody, because that's what keeps managers and coaches and front office up. Say, boy, I wonder if he'll ever reach his potential. And then the sky's the limit. Anybody that knows exactly what he was going to be and said this, if you're the scout that signed him, he was what, the 6th pick in the country, 5th pick, something? It was pretty good. You know what, we were doing this June draft. They bring up some tape of guys in high school that went on to have great careers. We were watching Jeter's high school tape that the scouts were looking at back then. It's pretty interesting. That wasn't a slam dunk, just watching him. but he still had some of the same actions. You know.
Is there, has there been a time, a moment of regret in your career?
Oh
That you
yeah,
wish
sure
you
there
could
has.
manage him longer. You asked Torrey one day,
Of course.
okay, well, Torrey said, I always wanted to manage Maddox, and I got the chance, and it was good.
Greg
Did you
Maddox.
get enough? Yeah.
Yeah, you want to manage them because they help you win, right?
I think he was
That's
young.
uh. I would have a lot rather had him manage instead of beat me. You know, we're all excited in Baltimore that he's retiring. Trust me, he's been a real thorn in our side. And just take a good look, because there's not going to be many come your way like this again. So, it's just one of those things. He seemed to be always be able to dial up what the need was. Is it steal a base? Is it hit a ball the other way? Is it get a bunt down? Is it lead off an inning instead of trying to hit a home run because we're 2 runs down? You know, always understand the game within the game. But I don't regret not managing him. Um, Players, the more you're into it, you don't manage them; they allow you to manage them. And he's a guy that um, the best management with him is to get out of his way and let him set the example that you know he's going to set. And you come into spring training, everybody was wondering what was expected. Joe or whoever, just watch him. And because we all in sport, like even golf or whatever, you see a guy hit a chip shot or do whatever, you go, what'd you hit there? How'd you do that? It's more about they watch each other. I mean, our guys watch other players. They see how they do things. They want to know what size bat they use. What do you use, a light bat, a big barrel? How do you grip your slider? He's made other players in the league better too. Okay, by watching him. Just watching, I think.
You glad to be here tonight?
Oh yeah, you kidding me? As long as it doesn't go past 1 or 2 in the morning. We started a game here. What was it, 11:15 one night? I think we'll play tonight. What do you think?
Yeah. What the heck is that? I have a 4-hour delay.
We know the ground crew will take care of it. I remember some of it. I was trying to figure out how he was going to help us. I know he could run, steal base, and we felt like he'd catch the ball. I mean, this was 2 years removed from making 60 errors in Greensboro. No. No, of course not. Nobody's that smart. I mean, to think what's going to happen 19 years in a row? Come on, man. It doesn't surprise me looking back on it, but because of who he is and how he goes about things. But, he's made the Yankees easy to pull for.